Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I want to present about syllabus language. There are syllabus definition, syllabus development, and the development of the English syllabus. The first material is the syllabus definition. The syllabus is planning on what will be accomplished through the teaching and learning process of students. A more complete definition advanced by Kenlid. Darwin said that the specialties and rules on what to learn were generally put in writing as a basis for teaching for teachers and learning for students. By definition above, the syllabus has an essential element of the content and organization of learning program called course. Course is defined as an integrated series of teaching and learning experiences with a central purpose of directing students to achieve certain knowledge. He described more detail about syllabus definition as a learning plan and a particular group of subject or place of learning activities for a good competency assessment of time and learning resources. The next is the benefit of the syllabus. The first is as a guide in the development of further learning, such as the making of the learning plan, management of the learning activities, and the development judgment system. And the second is as the basic resources of crafting of the learning plan. And the third is as a guide to plan the management of learning activities. And the last is as developers rating systems. Now we are going to learn about syllabus development. Syllabus development based on the approach of specialists is grouped into two parts. The top approach refers to the syllabus developed by the expert and is given to teachers to teach students. This syllabus is also called a special syllabus, which means it was developed by experts and teachers only use it for a basis to teach a class. The drawback of this syllabus was that it was inadequate between content and practice in the classroom. According to him, the reality in the class suggests that the teacher has the content of the program or the syllabus content and that the students adapt the material given by the teacher. His reviews include extreme criticism of top syllabus because the second approach came called bottom syllabus. A bottom-up syllabus or learn-based syllabus is the one of develop based on the process of learning to teach a class. The syllabus was developed first asking students what purpose and how they learned, so that the material prepared in the syllabus was the result of negotiation and the reflection of interaction in the class. Interaction focused not only on content, but also the purpose of the study, or the content method and evaluation. I suggest that 5 syllabus formats that can be used as referral. The first is linear format. Linear format is adapted from the content of the language element description, primarily grammar or structure. This format emphasizes when drafting sequels and grading in teacher material is not allowed to change the configuration. The second is the modular format. The particularly fits with learning that integrates thematic or situation-based content. Academically, the learning units are integrated. The third format is organizing principle that allows teachers and students to review the same topic more than once. Each material is presented again but in a more profound form. The fourth format is the content of the syllabus based on the metric or table. This format is a more maximum opportunity in the developer to select a topic from the random table of content and according to the situation-based content. And the fifth is the arrangement of a syllabus based on narration. Content is described in the form of a description or definition. It is easy to combine with another format. To get a good syllabus in the syllabus requires attention to certain principles. There are 8 arrangements of syllabus. The first is scientific. The entire material and activities that were charged in the syllabus had to be true and could be scientifically accountable. Besides that, a learning strategy designed in the syllabus needs to pay attention to the principle of learning and the theory of learning. The second is relevant. The depth of the level of hardship, order of material presentation in the syllabus must be adjusted to the level of intellectual, social, and spiritual development of learner. This principle underlines the development of the syllabus in selecting the strategy and approach learning material in the assessment strategy activities as well as in making media needs and learning tools. And the third is systematic. Syllabus components should relate functionally to competence. The goal is the primary reference to syllabus development. From these two components are determined attainment indicators, selected learner or learning material which require appropriate learning strategies, need time and media and appropriate techniques, and assessment instrument to know the competence attainment. And the fourth is consistency. There is a consistent or continuous relationship between the purpose of the learning material of learning activities for learning and technique and assessment instrument. With this principle, selection materials, learn strategy, and approach in learning activities, using research and the media learning and establishing techniques and drafting questions are directed and achieving goals. Technical appointment and instrumentation instruments are simply directed at achieving goals. And the fifth is adequate. The scope of learning material, the learning activities of learning researches, and assessment system is enough to support achieving goals. With this principle, competence demand must be met with the development of material of learning and learning activities developed. And the sixth is factual and contextual. The range of indicators for learning material, experience learning, learning resources, and assessment system pay attention to the development of advanced technological science and art in real life and events. Many phenomena in daily life that are related to matter and can support ease in mastering competence need to be used in the development of learning. Besides, the use of information-based media and learning resources such as computers and the internet needs to be optimized for developing the habit of wider or wider search for information to learner. And the seventh is flexible. The whole component of syllabus can accommodate the diversity of learner and educator and the dynamic of change occurring in schools and community decisions. The flexibility of this syllabus enables the development and adaptation of the syllabus to public conditions and needs. And then the last is comprehensive. The syllabus component includes the entire realm of competence, both cognitive and psychomotor. These principles should be considered both in development in a learning material in the learning activities as well as each judgment. Learning activities in the syllabus needs to be designed in such a way that learners have the freedom to develop their abilities. And the following is the competence-based syllabus format presented by the researcher. The format of this syllabus is also called the KBK syllabus. There are 7 aspects presented in the main column of the syllabus. The first one is kompetensi dasar, the second is course material, and the third is learning activities, and the fourth is indicators, and the fifth is assessment, and the sixth is allocation of time, and the last on the seventh is resource material. Now, the next is the development of the English syllabus. Richard set out a history of developing language curriculum starting with the use of national syllabus. The context is defined as the context of the teaching material and a list of the ingredients to be taught and tested. The model presented by Crank is considered more relevant to the development of language learning in Indonesia and will be described in the following section. Here is the content of the language syllabus of Brown and Richards. Consists of types of syllabus and also the purpose and the content. The first is the structural. Structural consists of structures and the phonology of the Venn principle according to order of difficulty from easy difficulties or more often used towards the frequently used. The second is situation-based themes such as the campus supermarket bank, the composing principle based on the similarity of the situation and the pictures as the setting for learning activities. And the third is the topical theme and topic such as clothing, health, and principle of the arrangement was based on a similar theme. Grammar became a learning background. And the fourth is a functional language. Function of identifying, reporting, correct, describe the chronological arrangement principle or the use of each structure and situation into a setting of language. The fifth is notional. Contains concepts such as time duration of the quantity of the location of the comprising principle by chronological order or efficiency of each structure and situation into the background of the learning activity. The sixth is skill. Contains mastery such as listening to predict to find the main idea of scanning in reading the chronological arrangement principle of the use of any structural and situation skill to provide a setting for learning. The seventh is a task. Task or activities learning to draw pictures of maps follows the commands to explain the principle of developing or development according to a chronological order or use of motion sequence of structure and situation into a learning debate. And the last is competence. Contains joy-based or topic-based activities to display competence such as explaining the content of the text writing, a doctrinal summary based on competence in each topic or mastery of listening to reading and writing in words and pictures of situation and rise into the background of learning activities. The relationship between syllabus and the development of teaching material is described in chart. We can see in this PPT or this slide the process of developing material. Based on this chart, the first is compilers examine reason and motivation for learning any language that were relevant to the context being studied. And the second, compilers develop learning goals that are defined in the general forms of goals and specific objective in KBK context. The design is in SK and KD, and in the Kurikulum 2013 is the end of program learning and vocational course. And the third is compilers formulate teaching material that meet goals and objectives into curriculum and syllabus structure. And the last is compilers select teaching material or textbook that work according to the curriculum and syllabus formulas. If the compiler are already available teaching material in the field, or the compiler develop their own teaching material. The development of teaching material may be done by compiling from various sources of such material, such as the online material or adoption and work detection from other available sources, such as the magazine, encyclopedia, papers, and so forth. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.